Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program with aKiss4Luck.
Hello.
And we're gonna go to the moon today.
Yes.
So the last video ended up with a crash. So we just replayed, did some more of those little tests, tests from the launch pad.
Not a crash not a crash. We didn't kill Jebediah.
The software crash.
The software.
Yes. So had to repeat a couple of tests. We did have a lot of money in the bank, so I went and I've upgraded the vehicle assembly building.
Lovely.
So we can use more than 30 parts now. I've also upgraded the mission control, which technically lets us have more contracts.
Okay.
But also enables flight planning if we've also upgraded the tracking station to that. So we need level 2 tracking station, level 2 mission control. Now we got patched conics and flight tracking.
Patched conics.
Basically, we're going to go to the moon. This is going to make total sense in a second.
Okay, so we're not landing though. We're just doing a flyby.
Just a flyby.
Okay. Just a flyby.
Oh, how much science do I have? Can I get those better fuel tanks? That was a little test. The little test one. I'll show you.
Nice.
Sorry, just popping out to the main screen again. I think the mods make this a lot slower. Yeah, we're not going to have enough science. It's, yeah.
Bella's playing.
Yeah, it's Bella, yeah. Yeah, see, these external fuel ducts is what I was hoping to add in. They can give you tons more efficiency.
And we don't have where are they?
It's 90 science, and we have 45.
Oh.
So
are there more tests? Not 45.
There's tons we could do on the thing, but it'll be boring. You know how we'll get lots of science? By going to the moon.
Let's go to the moon. Who needs efficiency? Just get more power.
That's right. So this is like the last little test. I had to test this engine and that thing over there.
Looks like a little UFO.
Yeah, it does.
Can we make things that look like UFOs?
Well, there's a couple of different ways you could do it, because technically this has no fuel, right?
Okay.
But you can turn on a cheat to have infinite fuel. In which case, this will fly.
Seriously?
Yeah, let's do
Okay, you'll have to do that at some point, just cuz.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Just cuz.
Just cuz. If I load this should have been... This is the ship we used last time.
It's not as pretty as that last little thing.
That little guy? Yeah.
Oh, well.
So, here's what I'm going to suggest. If we are going to the moon, let's try to get some more science going. So, let's... if you are okay with this, let's
go ahead. Just teach me.
Oh, hold on.
Do whatever.
Don't save. I wonder if we can upgrade the astronaut building so we can do an EVA. Which would be very good. Yes, in space.
Does it come with like a belt buckle hooked on or anything?
75 grand. There we go. Let's do that.
Oh.
You have a little rocket pack, but no, you're not actually strapped in, which does freak me out a lot.
And it may look still, but you're going really, really fast.
Really fast.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Okay, that's just a little bit scary, but okay.
So here's what I'm thinking. Oh, that's not the stage I want. Pull that aside for now. So this is the bit that's going to go to the moon.
Okay.
Now, what we can do is sort of, first of all, if we get rid of the swivel engine and use the Terrier, it's more efficient.
Okay.
It's slower. It's not as much thrust, but it's much more fuel efficient, so we actually get a lot more delta V. We can actually compare it. Right now, we've got 2,500 delta V. If we put the swivel engine on, 1,600. You get 1,000 more delta V by switching this engine. A lot less thrust, but much, much, much more efficiency.
Well, without an atmosphere, like this is, we're not using this till we're way
Till we're in space, yeah.
Okay.
Then what I could do is take this, and we could stick, since we can now do EVAs, we can stick a science bay on here that we're not going to return home with. You can save more money if you return home with bits.
So why aren't we returning home with it?
Because it's just going to be easier. But then we have to worry about heat shields and things and turning around. We can do it. I've done it. It's fine. But I figure it's more realistic when we just return to the capsule.
I think so.
At
this point, yeah.
I'm a sucker for the realism.
Those splashdowns were pretty awesome things.
And
yes.
just so that we don't have to worry about any of these outer bits burning up on our way in, I'm going to move everything to down there. So we'll just return with that bit.
Okay.
This is the bit we're going to go to the moon with. We're going to try to loop around the moon, do all of our science. If we're really good, we can do science at the high moon and low moon. Although for that, we'd have to bring a scientist to reset the box. Let's just do a simple flyby.
Okay. We'll do the scientist next time.
Yeah. So we're not going to be able to reset these experiments.
Send Jebediah to school.
So, I mean, we could double up on these, too. Have 2 material bays, 2 goo containers. It's heavier.
Sounds like it would be a lot heavier.
It is. Whoops. Let's remove that, remove this one, go into symmetry mode. It might be fine. So if we do this, 2 goos, 2 science things,
right.
If we time things properly so we go into higher and lower lunar, like flyby, then we can get double the science. The alternative is we do have, I'm just remembering, this Probodyne Octo. which does do SAS for us, which means we could bring the scientist, Bob the scientist, instead of Jebediah. Then he could reset the experiments.
In outer space.
In outer space.
Outside.
Outside.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, they're going to have to go outside anyway to collect stuff to bring it into the capsule.
God. It's true. What could possibly go wrong? Let's do that.
All right.
I mean, it'll be less weight, right?
It will be.
We'll
It is lighter, yeah.
Woo, look at them all. Woo, got excited.
Let's do the thing again where we put it on that side, because I think it'll actually be smart kind of drag. This will not need any SAS to come home. So what we can do is, where was it? Oh, it's up here over here. Probidyne, and then like that. And then like that. And let's say we move the thermometer up there.
That totally does not look strong, but okay.
Not really, although we can go and make it better by throwing in some of these little struts like this.
Oh, look at that. Well, that
keep everything strapped
feels better.
Bit of a hollow spot, but that's okay. Again, if we had the better aerodynamics, we could do the fairing that goes all the way around.
Yeah.
But we don't have that yet. Still, this should be okay. So this is going to provide the SAS for us. And then we're going to make sure right now, before we launch, we're going to make sure to swap our crew around. Bring Bob with us.
Come on, Bob. You can do it.
So we do Apollo 1.
Apollo 1.
Technically, Apollo 1 exploded on the launch pad.
Do we really want to name it after that one?
I think 8 was the one that did the first flyby.
Kerbal 8.1. Oh my God.
So now we've got the science and that. I don't think we don't have the barometer yet, do we? No. What I can do though, there's a few things we can also throw on. If I throw on this engineering system chip, then we'll get more delta V information as we're flying around, so we can make sure all our numbers are updated. All these numbers here, we'll get more of it in flight.
Nice.
We could throw an antenna on. I don't think we need anything like that. Who needs antennas? We don't need to talk to anyone at home. Oh, maybe some solar panels. I've made that mistake before where I launched without any solar panels. It turns out, running out of power is really bad. Now, you can do it with just one, as long as you're always facing the sun. If you want a slightly easier way of doing it,
I would put some all the way around and yeah.
Yeah, do something
a
like
little
that.
extra, whatever, but it seems like it would be a lot easier to make sure you're getting something from it.
And just to be able to get through the dark side of the moon, we can throw one little battery pack on there.
Look at this.
I don't think it's required. Yeah, I love how there's just giant batteries. I don't think we'd need it, but let's be kind of safe. So this is the thing that's going to go to the moon with the scientist that's going to pop out, reset the science experiments, and hopefully run them twice. At the very least, he has to collect them and bring them into the pod for re-entry.
And then we'll have to go out. So one is within the the high.
Yeah, the high.
Closer to the moon, and the other's further away.
Yeah.
So he's got to be out twice.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. At least the second time,
sorry,
he can do it
Bob.
on the long, long way back home.
We'll send your family cards and flowers, I promise.
So, if we were to just stick this bit back on the bottom. Come on. It's difficult because it's far. It's like, come on. There it is. Okay. 5,200. Technically, we can do it. We'd have to be more or less flawless, which I'm more or less capable of doing when I'm thinking. Is we'll just do that. Just add a little bit extra fuel to the middle. And assuming we have these stages set properly, let's bring that back up to full and bring these down a little. Oh yeah, and then we run into that problem. Yeah, we can go with full. It's okay.
And we don't have the little pipey things yet.
No. And yeah, we don't actually get as much delta V. It's funny. It's so much easier because you can do different staging stuff. Do you want to just throw in some SRBs here and just get some extra something? I don't know.
What could go wrong?
What else? Yeah, we really need more fuel options.
And this is the best we can do right now with these?
Yeah, without a little bit more science. If we do that, and then just throw some hammers on the outside. Doesn't do that much for us.
Looks interesting, but it didn't change it by a whole lot, did it?
Partially it's because our engines are structured wrong. Bring that up here. 5,400. Yeah, we get a lot of thrust to weight to take off.
Didn't we have 56 at some point? No?
Maybe. You know what? The trick might just be to get a little bit more fuel on this other stage. We could also... Here's an idea. What if from here we even use another swivel and then just add an extra like whole stage entire. What am I looking for? Decoupler. If we do something like this, all those at the bottom. How come? Oh, there's something wrong with my staging. Oh, yeah, there really is. Wow. Okay, let's figure this out here. All the engines at the bottom go on, then we knock off the sides, then we knock off that while also turning on that thing, and same thing here. So now we're looking at 53. It's getting worse. More is not always better. So 51. I think when we had the third fuel tank here, we had a little bit more.
I thought I saw 56 once, but maybe, I don't know.
Could be.
Maybe
54. This should be enough. All those go. Thrust to weight on this middle one is, oh, quite bad.
It's going down.
Yeah, although it's should be fine. We just get our trans stage better. So get a lot more.
There we go.
The question is, we're gonna have to use a lot of this to get into orbit though, which is not what I'm looking for. Whereas if we do this, the bottom stage will mostly get us there. You know what? This will be fine.
Mostly?
It'll be fine as long as we do a really good gravity turn. We should be okay. Should. Could possibly go wrong.
Well, sunflowers. It'll be fine.
Yeah. All right, there we go. And yeah, if we had the little fuel things, this would be a lot better. All right, I'm pretty confident that this will work.
Okay. Well, I'm not as attached to Bob as I am Jebediah, so it'll be, you know, it'll be tragic, but
yeah,
it's not as personal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bob's still pretty brave.
No lights. Oh,
I'm sorry I didn't put any
fine.
lights on.
It's okay. It's okay.
I should have.
But it looks awesome at night. This is so beautiful.
So yes, full throttle.
I say yes. Throttle. Yes. Okay. Love the night liftoffs.
Okay.
Ooh, he's tilting already.
Try to tilt just a little bit more. If we tilt too far, we'll go and spin around 180. We'll have to do a quick little revert maybe. Oops, we're going a little too low, not on the 90-degree mark. There we go. Alright, I'm a lot more comfortable starting with this. It should be slightly more efficient.
Kerbal.
Getting some atmospheric stuff. Just gonna bring it down a scooch just so we don't, hit terminal velocity too hard here. What's our thrust to weight? Oh, really high. We can bring it all the way down to around there. Just because drag slows us down, it eats a lot of our delta V.
Oh, I see the things start to tilt, and it's just like...
I know.
No, don't do it.
Luckily, all these have the tilt control on them.
That's right.
Which really makes a big difference. Their weight is still quite high. That's okay. So these external tanks will very soon run out of fuel. So around 20 kilometers up, we're about 45 degrees, which is quite nice.
This is good. This is good. Okay.
There we go. Full throttle and pop those off. Okay.
Ah, this game is exciting.
All right. Apoapsis, because we let that computer chip in there, we've got this extra HUD stuff, which I find very, very, very useful. As long as we're going to hit above 70,000, that means we're going to be in space. So usually I target around 75 on this. So at this point, I'm pretty comfortable. I'm outside of most of the atmosphere. I'm going to go completely sideways. 90 degrees at this point. Our apoapsis, which is the high point of our orbit, will continue to climb, but more importantly, we're starting to flatten out our orbit a bit, because right now, it's still mostly peaky, but this is going to flatten out more and more and bring us closer to a circular orbit as is, without having to do that extra little burn at the end.
Nice.
If we do it really well, and be okay. But already now, what I can do is come here. If I click here, I can add this maneuver node here, and say I want to sort of burn to sort of be roundish. So that'll preview the sort of burn I'm looking for.
Is sweet.
But I'm not going for exact numbers here. I'm just trying to get a time estimate. Oh, we ran out of fuel on that stage. So let's get rid of that. Keep going a bit more. I'm just using it as sort of an eyeball of things. So again, we're going to make sure our apoapsis is about 75,000. Then just keep going horizontal. Okay, I'm going to stop now because we're going to... This burn here, assuming that it's vaguely correctish. And it is. Total burn time is going to be about 40 seconds. If we started 20 seconds before we hit that apoapsis, it'll be optimal because we'll burn for 20 seconds before and 20 seconds after.
Oh,
if we could do it instantly, if we could put in all of our delta V in one single instance, then that would be fine to do it at exactly 0.
Bob is so much more serene.
Yeah, he's a scientist. There we go. We're officially in space. We'll go ahead and burn. So if we keep looking here, the blue line will keep stretching itself out.
This is incredible.
So our apoapsis is climbing a bit, which is a little less than ideal. Okay, let me go and hit the brakes again. We're a little too close. We got lots of fuel left. We are okay on that.
Oh, I like the music.
Yeah, it's nice, huh? The space music. Let's cancel that. So we'll just basically wait until we're around here. So we're going to reach it in about a minute.
Ooh.
And again, when I get about 20 seconds away, I'll give it another boost of power, which isn't even top. You know what? What would be more optimal is if I wait until we 10 seconds to the apoapsis and make sure we're facing directly towards prograde, which is the direction we're going in. I'll fast forward a little bit. That's going to be like the sweet spot of efficiency. I think 10 seconds before is going to be fine, if not even overkill. So we're not doing this maximum efficiency, but we're doing okay. And there we go. And we're just going to wait until, from here, our apoapsis marker, our periapsis will show up down there, and then they'll start to seem like they invert. That's when we've hit a properly circular orbit. There we go. Just a little bit more. As soon as they start to... There we go. So now if we look, our high point, which is now over here, is 85 kilometers, and our low point is 82 kilometers. Almost a nice circular orbit.
That was amazing.
Now we can stay up here forever. Including, we can get more science from here.
Oh, because he can reset it.
Sure.
We can do it 3 times.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay, well, what we can do... My science helper is saying, oh, we haven't done a material study from wherever we are now. So let's do one of those. Oh, because we didn't bring a material component last time.
No.
Because we didn't have the space for it. Microgravity has greatly affected the growth of crystalline structures. Loose objects are also flying around the bay in a very messy but fascinating way. And keep that data. We are going to do an EVA as well.
Oh, Lord.
To collect that data. Now,
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to rotate around. Make it a lot easier.
So we can pretend there's an up?
Yep.
Awesome.
Got lots of power. We're using a bit of power right now from the probe. We get the stability assist right now, but there's almost nothing involved. So we're not going to run out of juice. And at some point, we'll come around the sun. So we can EVA.
Oh, God. Hang on,
Because we've done a crew report from here and everything, right?
No, not yet.
Yeah, from orbit.
Oh, from orbit before, yes. Okay.
Okay, we'll EVA. Now, we haven't done an EVA report from here.
Oh. Sailors drift in the ocean. The first one to drift in space.
Now, we're still holding on to the thing, which is good.
Please hang on, little man.
So I'm just going to climb down
Scoots.
here. The problem is we don't have ladders that go all the way down.
Oh.
I don't think I can reach the material bay without letting go. Collect the data. We'll then restore the material bay. And there we go. So we can...
Are we doing the thermometer and the GUI?
Well, we've already collected it in the last pass, so luckily I don't
Okay.
have to do it again.
Okay.
There we go. And then we grab. The trick is you want your feet to be under the ladder. If your head is bumping up against it, you won't really be able to grab it. Now, what's cool, actually, if I go ahead and release again. How do I release again? There we go. Turn on the RCSs and just stop here. Because there's a probe on there, what I can do is I can do this and grab control of the ship. I'm now steering the ship. And I can do that and grab control of the Kerbal again.
Oh, good lord.
Grab on.
Ugh.
And sport.
I'm sitting here, I'm not breathing.
I know.
It's like I'm tense. I'm holding my breath.
You're like, I've seen how these movies end. It's never good.
Oh.
We're back in the ship.
You're good at this. Oh god, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have a fit the first time I try this alone.
The EVA is so scary. I can't even tell you. All right, there's the moon.
The moon.
The moon.
Oh, how do we get from orbit to the moon?
We use gas.
We use gas.
So there's.
We have enough gas to get to the moon and come back?
I hope so. Sure. Sure.
Will these solar panels help with that
No.
in any way?
No, if we had an ion engine, it could. But here's what we want to do. The moon is over here.
Yeah, that's right. We're just charging those little batteries for our ghetto blaster thing.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Our internet, Wi-Fi's really
The Wi-Fi's
signals.
rocking.
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't bring an antenna, but that's okay.
Oh.
So the moon right now is there. So the general idea is if we start to accelerate, so you sort of do sort of a 45 angle-ish, maybe a little bit more. So like right around here, I think, unless I'm wrong. We're gonna put a maneuver node there. And ignore this pop-up. That's a mod I've got.
Okay.
But these moons, we're gonna say this is the prograde. This is the accelerate one.
Right.
If we go and stretch this out, and we do more and more and more, you see the. It goes really fast at some point. But you see that purple line? That's where we actually encounter the moon. During that path of the purple line, we are going to be in the sphere of influence of the moon. But what's interesting about this path here is we'll enter it and then we'll leave it again. And here we're once again in orbit around Kerbal, quite high, but technically
But
there.
it is,
If we do
yeah.
nothing else, if we just take this path, this burn here, which is calculated to be about 843 delta V, which we can see down here. Again, that's my mod. So ignore that. Right down here, 843. Because of the one mod I've got, I know we've got about 1300 delta V left. So we can do this maneuver, fly by the moon, and come by on a free return without doing anything else.
That's
But not only that,
bloody amazing.
we can even tune it a bit more. If I click on the moon and say focus view, it'll actually show me, this is what the patch conics are, it'll show me exactly where we're going to fly by. So now if I go back to that maneuver node, and while we pay attention to this, if I say, what if I went a little slower? Okay, what if I went a little faster? You can tune things a wee bit. But not only that, if you change where the node is, which you can drag around this way, you can change some of the aspects and like, how do we want our flyby to work? What's the optimal one? Well, ideally, we'd like to burn as little as possible, save as much fuel as possible. So what's the minimum we need for a flyby?
Oops.
Right around there. That's the minimum we need. Can we get any closer if we move it around a little bit? Okay, what if we do give it a bit more juice? What if we encounter the planet from the other side? What if I leave a little bit later? Can we meet it from the other side? I think if I gave it more juice, we'd get there a little sooner. But let's try to do the absolute least amount of work, maybe. Well, actually, what we can do, when we get near the moon, we can do another maneuver. A maneuver.
Yeah.
A maneuver. We could consider, what if we want to slow down and actually enter lunar orbit?
Oh.
How much burn would we need for that? It's probably a fair bit. I can't tell from here. I could actually cycle over there and get some info. It's technically doable. Let's tell you what. Let's start with, let's just do the initial burn over here. These are not the right numbers. Oh, I reset my maneuver. I got to do the whole thing again because of the way that I deleted things, because of this mod I'm using, which is brand new for me. Ooh, now that's
Whoa,
interesting.
what is this?
Now, that one would be bad because we'd smack right into the middle of the moon.
But what a way to go. We get great pictures.
Now, I'm going to use this mod to very precisely change my movement here. If I do it just like a scooch more, if I did that,
Oh, nice.
I don't know if that counts as like lower moon or orbit or not. Like, I don't know if I can count, if I can actually do this precise of a burn. We could do an adjustment thing to try to like not smack in. But if we can do a burn that's exactly 860.3 delta V while facing exactly the right way, we will fly by the moon in this sense. I'm going to leave this here. This is actually a little more delta V than the last one, but it gives us the option of maybe doing something close. And again, we can do just a scooch of an adjustment burn over here. That might be even better.
Oh, this is amazing.
All right, our inclination's a little whacked, but we might just have to deal with that. If I went and... No, it's not that one. Yeah, there'd be ways to sort of adjust this and flatten it out, which would be better. Uses a little bit more delta V in total, though. Well, actually, no.
Not too much.
Yeah, it's only 866 total, just at a slightly different angle. Just sort of almost equatorial, which is better because of reasons.
That's the scientific version,
Yeah.
or explanation. Okay.
So this might be the ideal one. So I like this pop-up because it lets
Looks
me tune
good,
things.
yeah.
But we can just pull these sliders and try to manipulate things. So we're
That
going to
went
get
off
that
again.
node in 12 minutes. Yeah, it did. We're burning a little bit more to get it a little flatter like this, but ultimately it's going to be a bit easier. What if I change the time? Again, I can slide this back and forth, but it's even easier if I just sort of tweak it here. So if we start a little later, that could get us a little closer. Might make it a little easier to get things done. All right, let's go with this.
Looks good.
Let's try our best. We're still going to be 160. This is definitely high lunar stuff. If we just do a high lunar things, it's not the end of the world, right? We're okay with that.
We can do low lunar when we land.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a little concerned. We don't have unlimited fuel, so we don't want to F this up. We are doing the free return thing, which is hopefully going to help out. Before we do this burn, I think we've got to put a cut in this video.
Wow, okay.
But in the next video...
Will we make it to the moon? Will we make it home?
That's the bigger question. We'll get to the moon. But what about the rest of it? Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a really wonky path. No wonder we're using so much burn here. Oh, no. Hold on. I'm being confused. This is where we're going to want to face for the maneuver.
Okay.
I was concerned because it's not lined up to our prograde. It's actually quite retro, but that's because we're not burning for another 11 minutes. By that point, we'll have wrapped around here, and we'll be good to go.
Look at the sun.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. See you next time. Make sure to subscribe to both of us. Bye-bye.